Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. I've always been curious about this one, and now that a friend picked one up, we can finally talk about it. His experience, start to finish. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer found that for its very accessible price point, this monitor is an incredibly solid choice. After spending some time with it, our reviewer concluded that the praise it receives is well-deserved, provided you know what to expect. Right out of the box, the factory calibration isn't great, which seems to be a common issue with displays in this category. However, the built-in menu offers a surprisingly deep level of control to tweak the image to your liking. Once adjusted, the colors become quite vibrant and the picture is nice and crisp. Thanks to its slightly smaller screen size, the pixel density is a bit higher than on larger displays with the same resolution, which makes text appear noticeably smoother. The dynamic contrast also seems to outperform other budget-friendly IPS monitors this client has used. Of course, some compromises were made to keep it so affordable. The bezels are a bit thicker than the frameless design might suggest, and the stand offers very limited backward tilt. The viewing angles are also not perfect, as looking down from the top makes the screen appear noticeably darker. While the contrast is good for general use, the blacks can still look a bit too bright when watching movies with lots of dark scenes, as it lacks high-end features like local dimming. The reviewer also noted that on their particular unit, the whites had a slightly warm tint, and some of the picture settings like sharpness are simple on-off toggles without finer control. The physical buttons can be a bit frustrating too, as the power button is identical to the menu keys. Overall, this display is a fantastic option for everyday tasks like browsing the web, working on documents, or even some light, casual gaming. For anyone needing professional-grade color accuracy or top-tier gaming performance, a more specialized display would be necessary, but for general use, it's a great value.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer wanted to share their experience with this display, and overall they were really impressed with the value. Our reviewer admits it's not the absolute best in terms of color and refresh rate, but for the price it performs admirably. The matte screen is a standout, effectively eliminating glare. The design of the enclosure is also surprisingly stylish. It comes equipped with VGA and HDMI ports, and intelligently detects and switches between sources automatically. This client noted some thoughtful design choices, like a power cord that's generously long and easy to manage, and an ON LED that isn't distractingly bright. When turned off, it almost gives the impression of a borderless screen. They were happy to report it does have tilt functionality, just limited to leaning back. The absence of VESA mount compatibility might be a drawback for some, but given the cost, it's understandable. They did observe some minor text rendering issues with VGA, recommending HDMI for the best clarity, and offering a workaround for those using VGA with Windows 10. This reviewer appreciated that it doesn't have built-in speakers, a feature they often find unnecessary in monitors. The extensive settings for gaming, night use, color adjustments, and general preferences, all storable in 3 gaming profiles, were a big plus. The intuitive and easy-to-navigate menu system is a welcome surprise. Gamers will appreciate the crosshair display and refresh rate indicator, as well as FreeSync support for AMD users. Setting it up was a breeze. Even the base attaches with a hand-friendly screw. Despite the base being on the larger side, it feels quite sturdy, and the screen shows minimal distortion even with pressure. Though the response time isn't top tier, our reviewer didn't notice any significant delay compared to their more expensive monitor. The contrast might be a bit flat in some situations, but they actually prefer this when working on.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer initially bought this computer monitor for their wife, who needed a larger display to pair with her laptop. She'd broken a key on her laptop and wanted a more comfortable desktop setup. The solution was a wireless keyboard in this monitor. Now her laptop essentially functions as a powerful desktop, complete with a larger screen and a flexible keyboard setup, and she is very pleased with the new arrangement. While many other users have already highlighted the monitor's impressive visuals, slim profile, and excellent build quality considering its price point, our reviewer wanted to share some helpful tips they discovered during setup. First, the stand does tilt, even though it might not seem like it at first. You need to grip the stand firmly and then tilt the monitor backwards to your preferred angle. It doesn't tilt forward or sideways, but tilting it back offers a good viewing angle in most situations. Secondly, if you're not getting a signal, double-check that you've plugged the HDMI cable into the HDMI output port on your computer, not the input port. A simple mistake, but easily overlooked. Our reviewer also made a few adjustments within Windows to optimize the dual-screen experience. They set the display settings to extend, enabling the use of both the laptop screen and the new monitor simultaneously. They also altered the power settings so that closing the laptop lid wouldn't put the system into hibernation. Finally, they reconfigured the display settings to align the virtual arrangement of the screens with the physical layout, making it much more intuitive to drag items between the two displays. Now the user can open the laptop and seamlessly use both monitors, dragging and dropping applications with ease. Closing the laptop lid automatically switches to a single monitor setup without triggering sleep mode. It is a fantastic setup that meets all her requirements. The laptop speakers continue to work even when the laptop is closed.
And that's it. If this video helped, hit like and subscribe for more. Let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching.